It's my deepest honour to welcome you all today at an occasion, an important occasion in the history of this nation, where 75 years on, we remember with gratitude the service of those who gave so much during World War II to help fight the tyranny that was sweeping across Europe and laid the foundations for the freedoms that we all deserve today. Those veterans and those people who also kept the home fires burning are such an inspiration to us today in the way that we are having to tackle this pandemic that is crossing the world and is such a threat to our life and our community together. And so it's really poignant, I think, that we join as a community to say thank you to those who laid the foundations for us today. And I'm absolutely delighted that I'm joined by Mike Fassini, who represents the Veterans Association in Hartlepool, by Councillor Lee Cartwright, who is the Veterans Champion for Hartlepool, by Councillor Shane Moore, who is the leader of Hartlepool Council, and also Sue Snowdon, our Lord Lieutenant, to lead us in the national toast and to join in with the whole of our nation in saying thank you to the veterans and to the heroes of World War II. I'll now hand over to Sue Snowdon to lead us in the national toast.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be able to join you today. It's an absolute privilege. Today we're paying tribute, as you've said, Jill, to the service and sacrifice of the entire World War II generation. The British, Commonwealth, Allied forces, the evacuees, and all those who served on the home front. And today we're recognising that they gave us the freedoms that we enjoy. And they also gave us, I think, the hope for a very peaceful future. We have come together as a nation to face this horrendous disease, this pandemic, and we're experiencing such unity. And the unity is the same as it was 75 years ago. So I think it's very poignant that we've come together to mark the 75th anniversary of VE Day. And I think it's very important that we say thank you. Thank you to all those who served, and also thank you to those who continue to serve us today. So please be upstanding and raise your glasses to the national toast.
I'll hand over to Councillor Shane Moore now, the leader of Hartlepool Borough Council.
Well, I don't think I can add much more than what was eloquently put by both Jill and Sue, but just to place on record my absolute thanks for all those from Hartlepool especially who served in one form or another during the Second World War, and my deepest thanks to all of you.
I now hand over to Councillor Lee Cartwright, our Veterans Champion.
Thank you. Just to reiterate, we pay tribute to those who were served and give their lives in the cause of freedom, whether in the armed forces or on the home front. Remembering also that for some servicemen and women, the Second World War continued in the East until victory over Japan in August 1945. So again, thank you.
And I now hand over to Mike Fassini, who represents our Veterans Association in Hartlepool.
Well, on behalf of the veterans, I thank everybody for commemorating this event. It's important that we remember, commemorate and celebrate the efforts of our predecessors. Unfortunately, there are very few of those who are actually served who are still around. But to those very few who are still there, my thanks and gratitude go to them. Thank you very much.
So to the veterans of World War II.
World War II, to the veterans.
Veterans.
Many thanks for joining us today. It's a great day, but it's also a day where we need to remember that we are still facing a threat. We are facing the threat of coronavirus, and it's a threat which is sweeping across the world. We can do our bit by still following the regulations to socially distance. So please, as you remember the veterans and celebrate that great victory that was also celebrated 75 years ago on the streets of Hartlepool, to do so in a way which respects the social distancing regulations and restrictions, and to do it in a way which does not, in the way that we celebrate, place each other at threat of coronavirus. Have a great day, and do so with your friends and with your families. We're inviting people to make sure that they do so from the threshold of their house or in their back gardens, just to make sure that we are not placing a threat to each other in the way that we celebrate and recognise the service of those during World War II. Thank you all. Have a fantastic time.